Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't really moved since yesterday, at least not much. I think we're at the same price level as in yesterday's video. Also, the price has not shown us a lower low, and therefore we are still moving between support that you can see here highlighted in orange, more specifically the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement at 61.8K. Of the larger degree third wave, which topped here around the 13th, 14th of March. And between micro resistance, so we've got the support level and micro resistance between $64,620 and $65,945. This is micro resistance, and if we look at the structure here, then you can see actually that I'm still watching potentially for further lows, but obviously this is not so much predictive as such because we're dealing here with a larger corrective structures. And here, once I see, for example, a micro 5-wave move up followed by a 3-wave pullback, I would adjust my view. Normal in corrections. Overall, I could also leave away completely the microstructures. It probably would have the same effect. It would maybe even be better for some people because I could just say, okay, we've got this range here. You've got this support area, which obviously we get from Elliott Wave, right? I mean, it's just from the larger degree. And we can say, okay, once the price dips close to support or into support, it can be reasonable to buy a little bit, yeah? And then once the price moves away from resistance, it might be reasonable to take some profits or doing a bit of range trading. The entire bullish thesis of this setup and structure will, however, be challenged seriously with a break below 50,725. But as long as this range is active, an overall bullish thesis is valid on the chart and active, and you can just trade the range if you want to, But obviously that would, not allow us to understand when we have to expect further downside, and those expectations, they just change quickly in corrections. But yeah, we want to look for 5-wave movements, anything unusual on the micro level. And once we see a first 5-wave move up followed by a 3-wave pullback, it indicates maybe something bullish is playing out. However, yesterday it was the other way around. Yesterday, we identified already early yesterday that this was a corrective rally. So it was either the B wave of a larger Y wave of wave 4, which would lead to a pullback, which happened, or so it was either the B wave, which would lead actually to a lower low, or just the A wave within a B wave, so A, B, C, which would also lead to a pullback. So that 3-wave rally was a warning that some kind of a move down would happen. And we saw that ascending wedge yesterday, and the breakout to the downside happens. Normally you say the first target of a wedge breakout is the beginning of the wedge. I think that happened here. And then, however, I identified 5 waves. I made you aware in yesterday's video. I think we were around 63.5K. We're back at the same level now, but highlighted that, okay, because of the 5 waves down after a 3-wave rally, we're generally looking for lower prices now until the price proves to us or tells us that something different is going on, and then we have to change our perspective. How could it do that? Well, with a break initially above micro resistance, this hasn't changed from the last video. It's still between 64,620 and 65,940. Doesn't mean the price has to get there, but it means that this is standard resistance. If the price gets there, we should see a rejection or lower. Might not even get there. And because of the overshooting B wave to the downside here. So we might just come down from here. And this, it takes a break above micro resistance as a first indication that something maybe more bullish is going on. Short term, at least more bullish. And it takes a break above yesterday's high at 66,860 to fully rule out this microstructure. What would I do then? Well, my idea would be that the B wave would just extend. And the reason is this rally here, yesterday's rally was just a 3-wave rally. I should probably label it WXY, but you can label it ABC, and the C wave is an ending diagonal in 5 waves. So, therefore I'm like, okay, we only had 3 waves up, 5 waves down. That tells me I should expect further downside until the market gives me a setup on the long side, or at least breaks resistance, which it shouldn't do in this immediate downside scenario. So that's what I'm watching here at the moment. Could the low be in already? Could the entire wave 4 have bottomed? Yeah, anything could happen, but I don't see a reliable setup for it because we only have a 3-wave corrective rally and 5 waves down. And these double bottoms, they actually rarely hold. But that all depends on your time frame. I mean, if you're just trading for the next wave up, you shouldn't even be worried so much about this micro pattern stuff, because the risk is those microstructures, when they get invalidated or we make one more low, people panic. Whereas actually, for anybody who's just trading for the 5th wave, nothing really happens until the price breaks below 50.7k, because you need to give the price all that space in this wave 4, technically. Okay, only below 50.7k, yeah, something different is going on. So what you don't want to do when you trade the larger time frame, you don't want to get nervous by watching the micro patterns doing their ebb and flow here, and they're up and down within a price range. So it's just moving up and down in the range, right? I mean, we've now reached support again. We've hit resistance a few times up there. And if we get a break above the initial micro resistance, which I mentioned is between 64,620 and 65,940, well, as I said, then it's likely a larger B wave. I have to take that view because of the 3-wave rally that we had into yesterday's high. And if that happens, then the next Fibonacci resistance area will be relevant. It is between, as you can see, 68,370 and 71,560, with the 88.7 Fibonacci retracement level aligning very well with those recent highs that formed in April and March here, yeah, and yeah, early March as well. So there's going to be strong resistance up there. If we look at this visible range here and we just add, for example, the VRVP, which is the visible range volume profile, it tells us where the point of control sits. The point of control is basically the level. So you can imagine it also as a resistance range, really, but the point of control is then the spike here, at which price we had most BTC volume traded. And that's at 67.7k here roughly, okay? So we're just below that. But then you can see all those spikes. And that's all the volume that's up here. Resistance, it aligns very well with the overall upper resistance area that I actually with both. So should lead the price to slow down when it gets there, which happened before. Yeah, I think that's it at the moment. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.